Video location, Ampthill, Bedfordshire. Video title, The Bigger Picture. Happy Easter. He is risen. And oh my word, what a beautiful Easter Sunday we've had today. I had a video planned all week. In fact, it was a real struggle to put together the plan for the video I had planned. And this morning I woke up and I had a huge conviction to change what I was talking about. So I hope it reaches someone, I hope it blesses someone today. A few years ago, I worked in a team of people, and to cut a long story short, it became quite a negative environment to be in. We all became quite critical of the company we worked for, and what that meant was that it was quite tiring to be there with so much negativity. But what it was quite a motivator for me to work hard, to work my way up through an organisation and become a person of influence so I could change the things that I was once unhappy about. And that's exactly what I went to go on and do. But how many times have we made an assessment from where we are without knowing the bigger picture? Effectively, once I worked my way up, I basically learnt some things along the way which enabled me to see that there was reason for why they did these things. I was just in this team of people that didn't understand why that was being done. It wasn't until I began to run the team, to manage the team, did I understand that there were certain ways of doing things and why they were. I began to see the bigger picture. Effectively, I'd come outside of the mess of the team, and I think sometimes that's really important, to be outside of the mess, to have full clarity on a situation. It's like when we go to a friend for a bit of advice on what we should do, and this friend isn't in the circle of our problem. They often give us great advice because they're not emotionally involved in the situation. But I think there's a few factors that mean that when we're in the mess, it kind of affects us. There's kind of bias to the situation. We can be quite easily influenced, or we only really listen to the people that have the same opinion than us. We're obviously involved in the coronavirus situation at the moment, and we're trying to figure out what this is, what causes it, and what to do about it. But we don't really know. Like, man hasn't figured out what it is that's going to sort this problem. And they're giving us great advice. They're saying, stay at home, wash your hands, avoid going out if you can. But we naturally, we sit at home, we try and figure out what it is that's causing it. Is it 5G towers? Is it the Chinese diet? One thing's for sure, we're in a mess of uncertainty. But I think we can only really make a fair judgment if we, one, know all the facts, and two, know its purpose. I'm just about to walk out onto a football pitch now, and if I don't know the goal of a game of football and I begin watching, I could say, this is ridiculous. Why is she kicking the ball over there? Where are they going with that? And why is he stopping them going that way? And what are those two posts on either side of the field? It doesn't have any context. And so it takes somebody to explain to me the context of a football game for me to understand why it's done. I think the same thing applies sometimes with our faith. We can, of course, say, God shouldn't do this, God couldn't do that. But to really understand that, we have to understand the bigger picture. And I think at times we're guilty of putting God in this human-shaped box and pushing him into our morality rather than trying to live life with the ever-expansive guidance that he gives us to live by. Understanding that God knows the bigger plan. We can't really make a full, fair assessment from a place of mess without knowing the full picture. Over 2,000 years ago, God sent his son Jesus to enter the mess with us. Imagine it's literally like us all being in a huge pit. The only way for us to get out is if someone comes into where we're at to bring us out of where we're at. Whether that's via a ladder, my arm's starting to ache now, whether that's via a ladder or someone putting an arm into that pit. There's something personable about someone coming into the pit, into where we're at, and pulling us out. And as he enters that, he enters into our problems and our mess, and was ultimately killed for it on the cross, for who he said he was and the threat he was to people doing what they wanted to do. And then, as he said he would be, he was killed, and he rose on the third day and appeared to over 500 people, overcoming death and backing up what he told them he would do before he died. You see, today is more than chocolate and family time. It's about understanding that through Jesus, we have a way out of the mess, a hand out of the pit, and an offer at everlasting life. It's then, with that we can look at life as temporary and death more positively, and be in presence of the one who sees the bigger picture. If you like this video, or you know someone that it might benefit, I'd love you to share this video with those people. The media has no problem in sharing a negative message, but if we can reach one person with a message of hope, then it's successful in my eyes. Thanks, guys.